Hello, everybody. Today is finally the day to get this guy back together. So, the other day, I did a video on him, and you've seen it, of the update of all the details of the new speaker and new wires. And I finally found the soldering stick. And today I was been outside all day, and I finally found this soldering stick. And I don't know where that I left it the other day when I was resoldering R2 D2 on that last video. I haven't seen it, and still looking good. Still the classic soldering stick, except for it got a little bit rusty, but that's okay. Screen is still good. Cord is still connected from right here. So yeah. So everything's still good. I'm just glad I found this again. Now I don't have to buy another one. So the stick was not broken. It was lost forever until I found it. So yeah. And I made sure to clean it as well because the tip was dirty. But yeah, now we're finally ready to get this guy back together. So yeah, we got everything in hand now. Now that everything is back to business, finding this, and now we're gonna be finding some of these parts like this. They have solder on there, and this is to the another motherboard to the Shrek toy. But this one, I was gonna keep this one, but guess what? This motherboard was fried onto the other Shrek toy. See? Still got its glue and all that old wire still inside there. EN, classic thing on there. I guess that stands for engineering. Am I correct? I think so. So yeah. So this is the old motherboard to the other Shrek toy. This one is fried. Did not work. So yeah, I'm gonna use some extra solder on this one because there's perfect solder on there. So yeah. And also, if I have the time or not, something like this. This was an old speaker I had a long time ago, but it was a piece of junk, sounded like crap, so I just tore it up, and I decided to keep it. See, it was a mid-range speaker, and this one has some good soldering on here, so I might borrow it from here, and it'll be good. See, it has some good solder on there. Pretty look, and a lucky find, huh? Because I knew I was gonna keep it. Pretty cool, huh? These speakers like this have a lot of solder on there. So yeah, without further ado, might as well go take this outside and fix Shrek. So yeah. So yeah, once again, opening him back up, just like last time. Like I said, he was going to stay together until I find the soldering gun again. And now he's going to be opened back up. We're going to save you, Shrek. We're going to save you any way I can. If that makes a lot of sense. Hee hee. Because Shrek hasn't been working for the longest time ever. Since it's November time. Vacation just started. And this is a perfect timing to get this thing started so Shrek can be alive again. Because Shrek has been offline for about 3 months or 4 months or 6 months. How should I say that correctly? Yeah, that might be correct. But yeah. But yeah, if that makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. And by the way, you can tell that I haven't been messing with him because you heard that click sound. That's a good sign that the screw was gluing back in place. So yeah, that click sound, that means I haven't been in here forever. So I'm gonna go back in here once again from all the way back from last week. Everything's still good. I don't know why these screws aren't coming out. But yeah, we're finally gonna save Shrek's life, huh? We're gonna save him from working. We're gonna save him from not working to working again. If that makes a lot of sense. Easy peasy. It's only those 2 screws, huh? Well, that's good. Alright. Don't worry, Shrek. I will save the day. Open these. Alright. As usual, everything is still good in here. This thing moved. I'm gonna put this back. Classic button, still going. If it fits in there. There. Don't worry, Shrek. We'll save your life. Now let's go ahead and go right outside and fix these terminals and connect the way they were. And I also upgraded the screwdriver to be a smaller one because I was gonna figure out, and I figured out already. Look at that, see? There's no strip. But with the black one, like I found a long time ago, look at this. Spins easy. Or I'm just not holding it down. Yep, I'm holding it down. There's stiffness on this one. But this one, if I get it on there correctly, come on. See, there's no stiffness. So yeah, I'm gonna move on to the smaller one because see, same size. See, pretty stiff. Same with this one. Stiff too. See that? This is lucky, huh? I found another screwdriver. See, all stiff. But with this one, see, it just spins around. So yeah, I'm gonna change the size to a smaller one. Perfect. And like last time, I'm gonna be resoldering the wires right there, like the negative and positive. These are gonna go back on here, but instead of going to the bottom, they're gonna be right up here because it's hard to put back inside the holes like, you know, the previous wire. As I see it, like, you know, previous wire, which is leftovers, they stick it up in there. Whoever did this was a good solderer, and I figured out something. Want to notice a trick? If you cannot figure out how to resolder the wires back they where belong, well, I figured out a trick because my mind was thinking over the weekend, like right now. Oh, it was on Saturday. My mind was thinking about if I cannot put this back in the correct way, like these wires, they were stuck in up the correct way, the upwards way. That's default, or the way it came with previously a long time ago. But if I stick it up here, it'll be much better because see, if I take out the motherboard, the wire will just bend down like that. See, it'll bend down every time, so it causes stress. But if I put it up here, everything's gonna change differently because the wire is gonna go down as the same pressure I take out the motherboard to replace the batteries, and less stress is gonna cause right here. See, that's a good idea, huh? Putting the wires on top of here instead of the bottom. But pretty cool, huh? We'll see. We'll test it out. And this is gonna stay here because this is the main part. It needs to stay clean. But this, I might need to find something soft for this area right here so it doesn't get scratched, because see, look at that. Paint is still in good condition. No scratches yet. But yeah, I might find something. So yeah. Let's see. Do I have something? Let me see. Do I have something? Maybe I can use this. This thing right here. This little R2D2 thing. Because see, this is soft and clean. This will be perfect. See, this is smooth and this is smooth. And it won't scratch as much. So yeah. Lucky this. So yeah. Alright. Let's go and fix the wires. First, it's gonna be the input first. And second, I'm gonna find some more wire for the output where the speaker comes in. So yeah, let's go. And the items we need is pliers, so I can take out some old wire. Maybe these will help. Maybe these are the good amount of. These might be good to pluck out some old wire. Maybe not these ones after all, or maybe like to hold it, something like that. I mean this. Maybe this is a good device to hold stuff, because I made this by scratch, and I got myself a little adjuster so I can hold things while I'm soldering. That's a good trick, huh? Making stuff by scratch. So all I used was an alligator clip, and I pry it open with some pliers and then stick it on this right here and squeeze them tight, or use the hammer, and there we go. Got myself a little thing to hold so I can solder without without me having my finger in the way. Something like that. There you go. Testing it like that. But yeah, these are helpful and handy items. Keep these screws right there. Alright. So, ready to go in a second, because I'm trying to make sure I get everything I have. So, be right there in a minute. And some soldering iron, just in case if this doesn't work out. But yeah, we'll see. So yeah, got all the items we need: soldering iron, tweezers, pliers, and this, the handyman. And got everything in here. So yeah, let's go outside. Okay, about to go outside. Just put on these sandals. Okay. Got everything. Okay. To be honest, it's looking. Well, hey, it looks kind of a little wet out here, but that's okay. Oh, I know why, because it just rained earlier, so that's why it's wet. So I'm gonna put these here, put these here. Okay, we're about to start this. Okay, so while I was outside, this extension cord got wet. So just letting it dry off. Right here by this. Hopefully there's some heat so I can dry that up. But yeah, we'll see. Okay, so outside once again. And I think you're just gonna have to bear with me because since after it rained, everything is now wet out here, and extension cord, everything got all wet. So you're just gonna have to bear with me. So I'm gonna have to use the light right here, if you can see that. So, nope, you cannot see. See right there? Yep, you cannot see, or you can see a little bit. So yeah, you're just gonna have to bear with me inside the dark. So yeah, you're just gonna have to bear with me inside the dark because I have to unplug the light, everything, because everything was wet. So use this so Shrek's body or half of his torso doesn't get, scratched up. So I'm gonna put it right there. There we go, where it's nice and clean. Screws are okay because they don't mind being beat up and scratched up. Because screws, they don't care. They don't care being all scratched up and all that mess. But yeah, so we're gonna have to use this light or this one right here, because this one for the washing machines. This one might have short circuit, so it's showing this, covering safety. There. So I'm gonna have to unplug the extension cord or unplug this one because I need the light for it. So this washing machine is gonna be unplugged for like about a minute or two because I need to turn on this. So, and I need to find the extension cord, find the light, making sure everything's clean, not wet. This plug-in right here. So I'm gonna need to make sure everything is dry in order to make it work, because nothing works when it's wet. It will short circuit. Because lucky we have those cord sockets. If it sense wetness or anything unusually, it will cause the red LED to turn on, and that'll save power. So don't short circuit or blow the breaker. So yeah, make sure this is dry and clean. There, it's plugged in. Let's see. Alright, now we got some light. So now, oh wait a minute, I meant to plug this inside the extension cord, because this one over here is an extra cord. See, extension cord right there. So I have to follow wherever this thing is. It fell somewhere. Okay, there it is. Okay, there's the extension cord right there. There's the extension cord right there. Make sure it's dry. Okay. See? Extension cord right there. So now I'm going to plug this in. Make sure it's dry. I don't know why it's all wet. Okay. Alright, now plug this in. Wherever the hole is, I can't see, it's dark. Okay. Now it's plugged in. See? It's plugged in. So now we have an extra outlet for the soldering iron. I mean gun or stick, whatever you want to call it. There you go. So now we have some space to see now. See, we can see perfectly to solder this bad boy up. I'm gonna have to, there we go. You can see right there. There you go. So now have to be quiet because it's dark at nighttime and everybody's sleeping, so I have to be ultra quiet for this one. So don't worry. Everybody's sleeping, so I'm sure nobody will hear the noise. Okay, so now plug in the soldering gun, making sure its connectors are clean. Wait until it heats up. Okay, it's turned on. This bad boy's turned on. It's going to become hot. It's about 410 Celsius degrees, or 410 degrees Celsius. I meant to say that. Yep, it's turning on. Wait until that boils up, and then we'll try to solder the wires together right here. And you see the trick I'm finding out right here. If it warms up, yep, it's warming up. So give it another minute. On God's green earth, hopefully Shrek still works. I pray to God that he still works after when I resolder the wires. But yeah, don't worry, it's gonna take a lot of work for this one. So okay, so now it's warmed up. So now before I'm gonna need this, because so it has a surface to lay on, so it keeps the heatness away, just like that, so it doesn't burn nothing. Okay, there we go. So now, like we were saying, we're trying to get out that old soldering in there, or if it's okay, if it doesn't mind soldering other wire, but we'll see. But yeah, so now he's nice and hot. Now let's focus on here too. So let's see. Gotta have a lot of attention to this, because I don't need nothing melting on the inside. If you can see that perfectly. Hold on, I'm trying to see here. All right. Hold on. I'm trying to lock in here. Yeah, hold on. I might need to adjust the environment, because I need to see, and y'all need to see too. So hold on. It's hard to adjust because I can't see. I have to move y'all over here just like last time, so y'all can see. There. Or maybe right here. Let's see, right here is a good spot. Okay, I'm trying to see. Y'all can see that? For sure. So I'm gonna try to take out that old wire first. Push it in. There you go, see? It's melting. See, it's melting. Push that wire through that hole. There we go. See, there you go, see? Now that you see the solder is different, see? Look at this. I'm a good job at this. I'm a good solder person, but still needs practice. So like I was saying, make melt this, and then melt it first, and then stick it inside the hole. So yep, there it goes. See, so the old wire pushes through. Yep, see, you see that thing moving. There you go. So now it might be a little bit sticking out underneath there too. And now for this one, I have to, adjust my environment so I can see, and y'all can see too. See, this one's new, solder, fresh. Now for this one, wait until it melts. Wait until it melts, so we can put in some fresh solder in there. There we go. See, melt it again. Make sure it's pushed through the hole, so the old wire, so it can come out of there. There we go. See, making the soldering flat as possible, if that exists. There we go. Alrighty. Now let's see. Put that there. Now we're going to be using some tweezers here. Let's see if I did a good job. Somehow I just resoldered it back in there perfectly. You see that right there? I meant to take those things out of there. So let me see this. So I'm going to have to use the mini screwdriver. Let's see. That I got there. There we go. And I'm going to unscrew this. Perfect idea, huh? Perfect idea for this mini screwdriver to be here in our town. Now I'm going to unscrew this. Hold on, got to unscrew this because it might be a little bit tight for the mini screwdriver. So yeah, there we go. I'm unscrewing this. I'm unscrewing this. There we go. There's one screw. Now the second one. There's another screw right there. So those two are going to be right there. So yeah, perfect size. Perfect size for this mini screwdriver right there. So yeah. So now we're going to take off the motherboard. There we go. I took it off. Put it on the side there. And here's the motherboard, if y'all can see this. There it is. And there's the stuff that I melted. Yeah, it's on this one. Hold on, you can't see. There it is. See, there's the old wire sticking out of there. We're going to pull that out of there because we need fresh wire for this one. Or maybe I can just leave it and maybe it'll be a good faster soldering, but it's up to me. To me, I just want to take this out of here because maybe not, or maybe I can. They need to pull that out of there. If it really comes out of there. This old wire that came with the toy already, so I need to pull that out of there. I need to. Okay, so since I stick it out more a little bit, so I'm gonna have to put this back on the Shrek toy. Put one screw in there so it stays stiff. Put one of that screw back on there so it stays in there good. Okay, need that screwdriver. Because since I pulled it out a little bit, I'm gonna do it the second time of, the trick. I just put the soldering iron stick tip inside the hole so the leftover wire can pull out of there and goes the opposite way with gravity. So now there's one screw in there so it stays tight. And now we're ready to take out that old wire. Alright, so once again, make that melt. that melt. Alright, now the second one. Second one didn't came out right, so I'm gonna have to do it again. If it goes in there, for Christ's sakes. There we go. Alright, so let's see. Use that screwdriver again. Yep, see, this stuff, it takes time. This stuff for real takes time, but that's okay. Because I have a lot of patience. So now let's take out the motherboard. Took out that one screw so it can stay stiff. Holy cow, the motherboard is hot. Only on this side because I was trying to melt the wire with the soldering stick. So let's see. Yep, it's almost coming out of there, you see? It's coming out of the opposite way. Right there, you see that? So, if this comes out, you know, or I'm gonna have to use the big boy, pliers, so I can pry this out of here, because I don't need this disturbing old wire, you know. So Shrek can speak his clear phrases while he's speaking, and there's no disturbance in the audio. There you go, see? Pulled out that, hold on, it's tiny, look at that, see? Pulled out that tiny bit of wire. Saw that? Here we go. So now, everything is clean. Now we're just gonna have to do the other one right here, because this one have to stick out more of that wire, because, or that's good it's gonna get, because that one is for real all the way inside there. So yeah, I think that looks good, except for that tiny bit of wire, but that's okay as long as it's good. And we took out some of that old wire so it fits in there perfectly, but I'm not gonna fit it inside the hole. It's gonna be on, remember the trick, it's going to be on top of here. So yeah, so I'm going to put this back on and try to fit the wire in there as possible. Okay, don't move now. Okay, put that one screw in there so it stays tight. Hold on, I didn't put this straight enough. Okay. Make sure I put this on the screw lid, or I mean the screwdriver head, so it fits in there good. Okay. It's on, the screw's on the head, so I'm gonna put this on here. Okay. There we go. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Screw that in. So we're almost done. We're almost done with the. Okay. Okay, we're almost done with this part. Now we need to. Now, like with the this part right here, or we can use the piece of motherboard for soldering. This one right here, from the old Shrek toy, that the soldering part was fried. So. Or hold up, maybe we can use the leftovers and then melt the new ones on there. So let me see. So since now that this is good, I'll put the wire inside there. Hold on, I need to twist up the wire so it's good. We're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost there. We're definitely almost there. Just take some time. So I'm gonna have to put on some new soldering for this one, but we'll see. I don't know if I'm gonna use this because this is too tiny and I might burn my hands, or the same thing with the thing. It's just gonna fall off. So I'm not gonna use that one. So I might use this one because this one has a lot of soldering on it. This one has good ones on there. See all the good stuff. So I'm gonna have to find a way to get that soldering from this old speaker, mid-bass or mid-range speaker. It sounded like crap a long time ago, so it didn't vibrate good. So stole the magnet. Magnets do good. So I might steal some soldering if this comes off. I don't think the soldering is going to come off of this one, but hold on, let me see. Let's see if I can try to get a bit of soldering. If it melts on there, for Christ's sakes, come on. I know it takes some time to desolder or solder, but yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to use that because I thought it was going to melt, but this is a very thick soldering, by the way. See, look at that. I'm pressing on there and it's not melting. It's only melting a little bit. But anyway, so I'm just going to use this instead. So if I can put some... It's going to take some time. Hold on. No, we're almost there. I'm trying to put the soldering on the holes. Come on now. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with this. I don't know why it's not melting the way it's supposed to be. Oh, okay, so now it started smoking. That scared me for a moment. Okay. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to skip the whole entire this because it's gonna take time, you know. So be right back. Okay. Phew. So that took about like a lot of hours, and it's now 12:18 a.m. and I finally got that wire soldered in there, but I pray to God that it doesn't come out. But I'm sure because this has like a solid, oh boy, yeah, that's a pretty solid connection right there. That's good. So now on to the positive wire, which is going to take another long hour. So this is for real, we're here. I'm not skipping or doing nothing quickly because I'm using this. And I was able to use some of this finally because I melted some on there. Like when it was melting, I put some on there. And see, did the job correctly. So yeah. Still going with the positive. After when those wires are done, we're moving on to the input for the speaker. So be with you in a minute. Phew. So Yeah, it took a lot of hours again, once again. So here is the good stuff right here. So I managed to resolder back in, but guess what? Hold on. Guess what? Solid connection. And I didn't even notice this, but it seems like there was leftover glue on this, and I managed to cover up the wire, and then I don't know how did I manage to get this one in there perfect, but I guess this one will do for now. And now, and maybe if Shrek breaks again, I'll do this part again. But yeah, I'm just filming the video about it just because, you know, how if your Shrek toy breaks, I can tell you a video how to make it again. And yeah, so now that these two wires are done, connected to the switch, connected to the ground, now let's do the wires up here, and I'm gonna find a wire for this one, so be right back. Okay, so got the wire right here. It's this thing, so I'm gonna pull it off. So now there's a thing on here. There we go. So now there's two bare wires. Just gonna make them small, just like the same size. I'm gonna measure how small it is, how it connect here. Okay, about like right there. About like right there. Okay. Alright, now I'm gonna make some wire. Make some wire. Make some wire. Make some wire, make some wire. Okay, so I'm gonna have to fix this, make some wire. If this can come off. Okay. Alright, made some new wire. Alright then. So made some new wire. Took about like a couple of minutes, but then I was able to get it done. So yeah. So there's two new wires for the speaker, and we'll be all done. And we're gonna be hearing classic Shrek's voice again. And I don't have a negative wire right now because I ran out, so I might have to find some in the house somewhere. But this will be good for now as a illustration. So yeah, so this will be good. So now that the wire is good, there's an extra piece if I need it. So I measure the right size, and it's gonna be like, when it connects, it's gonna be like right there, about that cool size. Or maybe I can take out that old wire and put these two in there. That'd be a good idea. And hey, look at that. Didn't have to mention it. They're both the correct size. So yeah, gonna have to open this once again. Because I'm done with the two of these right here. These are back in solder, back in action. So yeah. Yep, and I managed to take my time, and everything went good. And Shrek is almost done. He's almost back together. So now look at this. Now he's back in business with the lift up option. Look at that. Back in business, y'all. So now just have to carefully take this out. Remember that. Oh, I forgot. There's a screw right here, so I'll be right back with the other screwdriver. Okay. Okay, so got this screwdriver right here. I'm gonna take this off. so I can access the battery area and the other areas. So there we go. Okay. Now we just gotta be careful on this, because I don't know if it really stretches that over. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make this wire longer somehow because this is short. But right now it has a good connection right now, so I'll worry about this later. So I'll put this over there, and we'll be focusing on the speaker part, which is the output of the toy, the main part. Put this on the side so it can cool off. I'll put this outside so there's air. Maybe not, because there's 2 droplets falling from the trees, so I'll just keep this right over there, so it'll be good. So now for the speaker, I'm gonna disattach this old wire because we don't need it, and we have this good fresh wire right here. I'm gonna have to make some new wire right here because this is old junk wire, so I need to make some fresh wire so there's a proper connection and then there's no loose wires anywhere. So okay, so now make some fresh wire. I'm gonna have to go get some scissors in order to do that, but hold on. I think I can do it just by using the teeth on the pliers, and I can make it like a cutting pliers or wire cutters. There we go. Alright. Alright. Got some fresh wire, but it's all tiny as hell. Okay, hold on. I might have to go get some scissors to do that. Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, got me some scissors so I can cut the wire because I made it so small for some reason. I need to cut this wire as soon as possible. Okay, finally made some wire. Okay. Made some wire right there. Just hope it's not too tiny or it's gonna get hot. Oh, it's plain in action. Okay. Now the other side. Okay. Alright. That might be a little too short. Lucky I have an extra wire. Okay, so I think this wire might be good, so I'm going to twist these things up. See, look, I have an extra wire, so I was right. I'm going to leave this on here because this is still good. All I gotta do is resolder that wire on there, so yeah. And it would be good. See, classic little speaker like from the other day I showed you. Still going. Like about right there. So the long area is going to be the connector to connect here because it's the same size. This doesn't twist properly, I swear. Okay, so now our wire is ready, so now we're going to put the new wire on there. Alright, let's see. Okay, gotta see like last time, so I can put this on here carefully. Alrighty. Sorry if you cannot see what I'm seeing, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm gonna have to wet the what they solder. Oh. See, that's the hard part. This thing keeps on sticking to the freaking magnet. Okay, how am I gonna work this out? Okay, maybe like this. Nope. Yeah, like this. There we go. So it's away from the magnet so it doesn't get caught by it. Okay, make sure I don't. Okay. I'm really trying to adjust my environment right here. So y'all can see. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna skip this because it's gonna take a lot of time. So yeah, be right back. Okay. Whew. So now I managed to get this on here now. The wire that looks straight to you or not, because I'm making sure that's on there right. But yeah, as long as that is okay, that's good. See, it has a stable connection now, so we're all good. So now that means we can successfully put this in here. The magnet feels hot, man. Okay, and I need to take these things out of here because some of that soldering iron fell inside the toy, so I need to figure out how to get it out without breaking anything. Okay. There. Alright. Okay. All that soldering iron that got stuck in there that melted. But yeah. Back on business, y'all. Shrek is almost together. I'm counting down right now. Shrek is almost done, y'all. So now all I need to do now is put this in here. Careful with this. Get in there, get in there, get in there. Thank goodness. Alright, y'all. For the moment of truth. Will Shrek still work with being repaired? Okay, that wire is loose as hell. I might need to put some, but anyway, it's okay. I'm just ready for him to be working again. But anyway, I'm gonna have to fix the wire again because it's loose again. So be right back. Anyway, I try to desolder it, but I guess for now it has a good connection until it gets broken again. But yeah, as long as it's good. So now it's time to put this inside the Shrek. That's like I was saying. I'm counting down now. Shrek is almost good. And yep, never mind. The thing didn't make it. So hold on. Okay. Whew, thank goodness. Lord of mercy. This took a lot of hours though, but I managed to get that on perfectly. Look at that, perfectly. I don't know what happened there at the beginning, but it seems like since this gun has been used a little tiny bit, the tip has been covered in the solder iron, and it's covered up right there. But if it gets to the shiny part, you get a solid connection back again, because the solder that came with the speaker, the tweeter, it ran out. So I used some of this, the soldering iron, and I managed to get this on perfectly. Finally, So now I don't have to go back in that stress anymore. And it's time and finally to get this Shrek toy back working as soon as possible, because I finally got this back on for good. It's not going to come off now. Look at that. Look at that. That wire is stiff. And I need to let the speaker cool off because it's all hot. Look at that. I did that so perfectly. Look at that. The wire is stiff. Now that's what you call a real soldering connection, because the people who made Shrek toys, they made it ugly as hell. That's what you call a real soldering connection. I repeat, that's what you call a real soldering connection, because I don't know how did I made that, but it seems like God was with me in this one, because now that's gonna last forever. Who knows? But now since I got that in there, look at that, still shining. The correct connection. So now that the speaker's in, now let's put on this, put this back the way it belongs. Careful to not over stretch the wire. This goes back in there like that. Okay, I should make that snap back in there. Okay, and for some reason this this thing is not having the whatchamacallit, hold on. But yeah, I don't want to mess with none of this, but yeah, the thing is not snapping in like the other day or last week. See, this thing is not snapping in. So that means something went wrong, but that's okay. I don't care about that. I guess the snapping back in function has a cured and it's not working no more. But that's okay. I don't care about that. All I care about is getting this Shrek toy working as possible. So now that I got this working, now the last final step on planet. Last final step is to get these wires on there. So this means I'm gonna have to turn the speaker. Use the long side for wire. Hold on, let's see how this is going to turn out. Okay, so like this. Hold on, let me organize this. Okay, so I'm going to have to cut the red wire because I made it too long. So I'm going to do it right now, so I'll be right back. Okay, use the scissors, and then I made the wire a bit shorter. Now it's exactly the same size. But yeah, I can't believe that though. I made that perfectly on there. Look at that. I'm so proud of myself. I can't believe that. So yeah, I'm going to put all this back. Look at this. Still stiff. That's good. That's a real connection right there. Alright. I can put all these things back. Put the speaker in there. After that we're done and we can test it out. Use some LR41 batteries to see if Shrek works. There we go. Perfect fit. Like the old wire. Still had some slack back then. Alright. Alright, heard that snap. It's going to fit it in perfectly. Alright. Oh, there we go, there we go. See that? It still had its connection, you know, snaps in option. It still had that. Thank goodness, because I thought this was going to be broken for a moment, but, I mean worn out, you know, because things worn out if you snap it in, out, and out. But then, I guess it recovered because put it in there right, so I guess it was Cricket, aka Cricket or something like that. So yeah, so now we're gonna finally put this back together and Shrek is all back in business. So let me put some solder on these two things. We'll be back to business, y'all. We'll be right back once again. Okay. Okay, everything is all good. We finally put Shrek back together. So now we got him back together. I'm a bit curious. Will he still work? Because when I was soldering him, I noticed that he had a little bit of leftover glue. But that's alright, as long as it sticks good. See right there, leftover glue. So, see the connections are stiff, like last time. But yeah, see, it's looking good, but I'm curious. Will he work? Well, we need to put it to the test. Like usual, put batteries in him. Let's see. Alright, where's that screwdriver with the bit head? Oh, hold on. I meant to say this one right here. See, let's put it to the test. Let's open it again. See, I screwed down the motherboard again so it can, stay in that position while I put it back together, So yeah. So it's working good. Okay. I want to be careful with this. Hold on just for a moment. This screw is acting up again. Just a moment. Just a moment. Okay. Take a look at that. Back in business, boy. Look at that. Back in business, boy. Back in business. Test some batteries. Make sure I find the good ones. First of all, that's the main part. Find good batteries. Batteries have been laying everywhere. Alright, let's see. Let's put it to the test. The moment of truth, y'all. The moment of truth. It's all fixed. Red wire soldered in. Check. His default wire back then that came with the toy soldered in. Check. Negative wire to the ground, which is the new one. Check. The wire to the switch back then that came with the toy soldered in. Check. The speaker is soldered in there good with the new solder point, making it shiny like a mirror. Check. Now let's put in some batteries, y'all. Like from last time. The moment of truth. Hold up. This isn't going in. Will he still work? Oh, you hear that? You hear that? Look. Let me put this in. Come on, go in. Hold up. This is acting up. Do you hear this? He's working, y'all. That's good. the batteries are still going. Alright, I'm gonna take these batteries out because they sound dead. He's only making popping sounds. We only need the good Shrek voice. So take those dead batteries out. We don't need those. Let's see if we can find new batteries. Where are they? Alright, found some batteries. Oh yeah, I got plenty of them right here. Let's see. We need the ones that they say 1.5 volts. These are the batteries right here. Get the multimeter. Multimeter. Is once again back with our lives. Multimeter. Alright. The first one, you can see that. Hold on. There. First battery is going in. Alright. First battery. Cannot see that. Okay. First battery. Hold up. 1.5 volts. That's half good, but not that good. 1.4, we can do that. 1.467. 1.564, that's good. 1.565, that's good. 1.545, 6, 7, 9, 60, 61. So this one is good, but it's having that battery glitch. Voltage glitch. 1.495, that's good. Can keep that one. 1.346. Okay, so that one's low. Put down on the side. 0.810. Okay, so this one's the bad one. So this one comes over here on the bad battery side. What about this one? 1.203. Okay, this one has a little bit charged, but goes to a low power device. Okay, let's see which one is lower. Which one is lower? So I can put it inside Shrek. 1.454, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that's good. 1.561. That's good. 1.564. That's good. 1.490. That's good. Put that in Shrek. 1.496. That can go. 1.5. Okay. Alright. Moment of truth, y'all. Moment of truth. Let's see if Shrek is going to come back to life. Y'all heard popping sounds. That means he's going good, but that was on low battery style. Put in some batteries here. Moment of truth, y'all. Moment of truth. Let's see. Moment of truth, y'all. I'm so proud of myself right now. I can't believe I fixed Shrek. We finally fixed him, y'all. The classic. Test it. Switch is on. Will he still work? He works, y'all. We finally did it. Yay! Now Shrek is back in business, y'all. Back in business, y'all. Yeah. Alright. Save power so I can play with him later. Alright. Now I'm going to put this back on. As usual, like last time. Ooh, be careful with that tight area. Oopity doop doop. Hold on. Hold on. Ooh, hold on. Hold on now, hold on. Switch came out. Whoops. Put that back in there. I don't want to ruin him. Come on. Get in there. Come on. There. Okay, now put this back. Like I was saying. Okay. Alright, now put that back on. Just like that. Okay, now put the screws back on here. Get the mini screwdriver. Wait a minute, where's that? There it is. That might be a little too tight. Hold on. I have to put it in the opposite hole. Guess this one's good. Okay. All right, now the next screw. If you can't see that, there you go. There we go. Nice. Got everything back in place. Alrighty. Now we can put these things back. Right there. Alright, where's that screwdriver with that bit? There it is. There it is. All good, y'all. Good as new. Now we can finally put Shrek back together. Make sure every single wire is organized. Getting its peaceful slack. By the way, I figured out how do you, by the way, a trick, how did I solder fast on here? I figured it out. I figured out how to solder faster. You want to know why? Well, all you gotta do is put the soldering iron on the soldering stick, and then put the wire on there at the same time, and then the wire will stick on the soldering iron, and make it melt on the motherboard, and that's how you solder faster. Yeah, looks good. That's how you solder faster. When you put the soldering iron on the wire and put the soldering stick on it at the same time, you make a solder faster, and it'll melt on the motherboard instead of trying to put it all over there. But yeah, Shrek is back to business, y'all. Like, if you don't know that, I can show you. Hold on. Just like that. Alrighty. Finally fixed my good old pal Shrek. Finally fixed him. He's gonna be good. As usual. Alright. So let's see. Which screws are bigger to the other holes? Alright. Let's see. Okay, maybe this one right here. Hold up. So this one's gonna go in here. This one in here. And this one goes here. This one up here. Okay. Now screw in those screws. Make sure he's super flat. We finally fixed him, y'all. Back to business, huh? Yeah. Shrek is back alive. He came back to life on November 22nd of November because I saved his life. Remember that, y'all. Shrek came back to life at November 22nd, 2025. Present right now. Yep. Present right now. Because I fixed him, made sure he was fixed. Everything was good about him. Shrek should thank me about fixing him. Because I do thank him to be working again. Alright, y'all. He's back. He's back, y'all. Hold on. He's back, y'all.
I'm an ogre. I'm on it. I'm an ogre. I'm on it.
Back in business, y'all.
I'm an ogre. I'm on it. I'm an ogre. I'm on it.
Yeah. Silly Shrek. Silly Shreko. But yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.